What's up, guys? It is officially a couple days into week one of the 2021 season two of iRacing. Um, I decided I'm going to try and do a little video series here. So, um, basically, what I'm going to do is those setups that I put on the forums. If you haven't seen it already, I'll link the forum post in the description. But I put what I run at these tracks on the forums last week. I think it was sometime last week. And yeah, I pretty much said, here you guys go. This is what I run. This is what I use. This is what I start from. And then I put the PDF of basically like a setup cheat sheet of, what adjustments I make and when I need to, when I make them. This setup will be in the forum also. I'll put it. I think I can. I think I can put it in the description also. I'm not sure, but either way, I'm in a replay right now. So when I'm done doing this, I will go to a separate test session at the end and show you guys where the setup started and where I finished with it. So as you can see here, we got like a little practice lobby earlier on in the day. I was able to run this, and then I was trying to make the video earlier, but then I ended up going out, so wasn't able to finish the video. So I figured I'll just restart the whole thing here and get it going from there. So had a pretty good feel in the car with the original setup when it was still kind of moist, I guess, on the track. And then as it got slicker and slicker, I didn't like the way the car felt, really kind of middle corner and out through the exits. So went in, made some changes, got it a little bit tighter, and kind of got it to stop doing that stupid stuff where I was hitting the wall and exit, and then that was messing me up on the entry to each. Like I just kept doing it over out of four and then into one. So I wanted to show you guys that mistake there, and then I had a couple more too, I'm sure. So things I just kept doing, like I'd exit four, not in the wall, and then it would mess me up going into one. So it was really bothering me. I kept tapping the wall out of four, and then I just could not get the car settled. And went in and made some changes from that setup, and ran this stint here on the new setup. The track got quite a bit slicker, obviously. This was right before the official started too. So earlier on, like I'd say maybe the 25 laps and up, there wasn't too many people in. And then I think the open lobbies like actually opened with registry for the official, and then a lot more cars started jumping in. So it got much slicker than it was earlier on. I think even on this first lap. Yeah, I mean there's still a lot of grip out there. Maybe some heat race slick there. But yeah, we'll jump to this. I'll let this play, and I'll let it kind of go, and you guys can hear the engine and hear the car. Me lifting and braking and getting in and out of the throttle, and basically just keep an eye on where the right side of the car is, where the right rear is, and where I'm at in the corner, and pay attention to the throttle at the same time, where I'm not really full throttle that much for most of every lap. So this car is going to be pretty stable the whole time, I think, and this is a pretty good feel for what a feature track state's going to look like. And I had some help with it being an open practice lobby, so I'll shut up and let it play for a second, and after this 10-12 lap run, I'll get back to it. I think this next lap here, I make a pretty significant mistake out of 4. Yeah, a little too much gas there, and I really had to snap it to keep it into the corner there. That's one thing you gotta be careful with. You can't get too happy here on the throttle and get yourself turned down into the slick and then try to get back out of it and get back into it, because then you've got to really whip this car. You want to be up here. I just missed it coming out of the corner. I got too much on the gas, and it pulled me down the track, and I had to really stab the brake and whip this thing into the corner. Not an ideal line, especially if somebody's, right behind you. Couple laps from now, I try a little cut down in 3 and 4. Sometimes it'll be there if there is a line of moisture kind of through some slick. It's weird. It's very it's a very precise thin line, but it's not quite there that often, and I just tried it out, but it wasn't significantly better or anything like that. You can kind of use this to, set up a pass into 1 and 2. And the biggest thing is you can hear when I cut down, you can get into the throttle, but you got to get out of it once you get on the front stretch, because if you stay in this throttle in all this slick, you're going to be sliding, and really this car is going to get all upset all over the place. And that's just a throttle control thing. There's nothing in the setup you can build around for throttle control. So that's just something you gotta, really try and fix. I tried to run the bottom, and the bottom Kokomo is not for me. This setup, I will say this setup is very top line dependent. If you're gonna go to the bottom, you're gonna have to probably maybe put some front stagger back in it. That front stagger is really good for the top in those situations. Let me back out of this real quick, just load up a random test session for you guys so I can show you the setup. And but the biggest key for sure, is making sure you can keep the car off the wall through the entry in the middle of the corner. And, the standard is kind of run 1 stagger, right? That's kind of just what you see in every setup. But Kokomo and Fairbury are 2 tracks that I really, really like to run all the way down to 0 stagger. I try out like 1/2 inch of front stagger at places like Lernerville and maybe Cedar Lake. I don't know if I've tried it there or not, but that's the new one. Let me show you the old one. Is that the right? Yeah. Kokomo. So we started on R2, I believe, right? Yeah. So we had 12 inches of stagger and 0 front stagger. Like I said, that's something I do at Kokomo. Front end stays exactly the same in the next setup. And you can see all of this if you downloaded the old one, and then all the new one will be in there as well. So what I did was I increased the torsion bars, and I had to change some bar stops. I changed this right rear bump, and the wheel spacings changed also. So just kind of keep that general picture in your head there. And then I'll load up the new one, R3. And there's the changes. So I had to go up on the right rear torsion bar because I upped the diameters here to 1025 bars. And then I took the wheel spacing all the way out to 1450. It was 1425. And then I took the wheel spacing on the right rear in just 1 click. It was 1675. And I went down to 1650. I also lowered the fuel to 15 because I wasn't even burning like 0.45 per lap. So 30 lap feature, 14 or 15 gallons. I put 15 to be safe. So yeah, everything else is the same on the front end. And the stagger, I dropped the stagger another inch. Once it got really, really slick, that 0 stagger really loosens you up on the entry. So you got to compensate somewhere, right? So I brought the right rear in and pushed the left rear out a little bit more. And still, I felt like I wasn't where I wanted to be when it was slick. Throttle wise, I felt like there was more on the track that I could have gotten. Took that down an inch, and I was getting what I wanted out of the car. So What else did I change? Oh, the bump stiffness. So we went down to 3.5 on the right rear as well. Just one click. It was 4. Went down to 3.5 just to get it a little bit tighter. Kind of center off. It wasn't really pushing me off the cushion as much after that. So I do think that was the final changes. Rewind and watch the laps as many times as you need to, and listen to the car or watch the throttle. Pay attention to where the right rear is at, and I think you guys will like this one a lot better than the Kokomo R2. I for sure do. So Kokomo's this, and I'll tell you this right now. This Kokomo is one of my worst tracks. So when you can see me put together 12 clean laps, or whatever it was, that's a pretty big deal for me. So the reason I had to go up from like 0.5 to 1.25 on this bar diameter is because, like I said, I like having a crossweight number target that I'm looking for. I think if you check the Kokomo's default, it's 47.8. So that's kind of how I've always built my stuff. If you've ever tried to go out and run default setups and you think like, God, these feel comfortable, but why are they so slow? A combination of the bars and not doing the things that we know, the 6.3s in the front, or softening up the right rear to keep you tighter, or bringing the wheel spacings in farther and pushed out more on the left rear, in more on the right rear. Things like that aren't really built into the default setups, but they feel good. And in my mind, and my experiment with building my setups for the past, I don't know, few months, I guess, I've just kind of landed on this. If I can match my crossweight number or get it as close as I can to what the default is, I think I'm going to be at a pretty good comfort level, with the speed stuff built into the setup as well. So that's what I've landed on. That's what's gotten me comfortable and gotten me a little bit faster at these places like Kokomo where I'm awful. And, for me, Kokomo is very hit or miss. And that's kind of why I was excited that the week 1 was at Kokomo. I just had a league race here the other night and was absolutely awful. I couldn't even finish anything, qualifying, heat race, B main, feature. I wrecked and everything. So I was pretty excited to see this Kokomo come here, and I'm gonna put a lot of laps in on this setup during the practice sessions and in the slick and stuff. If anything changes, I will let you guys know on that forum. Like I said, I'll link you guys to that forum in the description, and then this new setup will be in there. So yeah, consider this my week 1 410 setup. I'll try and get a 361 out as well. Today I ran out of time. Like I said, work's just kind of been kicking my butt. So I ran out of time today. I know it's already going to be Wednesday when you guys see this, but at least you'll get 5 days with the setup if you don't have one already. And hope you guys like it, man. Again, thanks for watching videos as always. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the comments, subs. All that stuff's been rolling in quite a bit lately. So appreciate you guys. And good luck in week 1.